Jared Anderson back in action April 13th, headlining a card for us. Now, what is it that you think of when you hear the name Jared Anderson? Is it the knockouts? Is it the fact that he's this young, very talented, very exciting, up-and-coming U.S. heavyweight? Are you thinking about the potential and what he may be doing in the future? I mean, there's a lot of things that could come to mind when we're thinking about Jared Anderson, right? We've seen him come out there and continually impress. Now we see him at the headline of this card and he's fighting this huge name guy, right? No, not exactly, right? And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not trying to knock him, right? But have you heard of Ryad Merhy? Have you heard of Ryad Merhy? Probably not, right? Have you heard of him as this huge heavyweight prospect? Has he accomplished a lot in the division? Is he an old lion that maybe, Jared Anderson's coming over here to steal the thunder and kind of test himself against an established guy who's not still quite at the peak of his game? No. We've already saw that. We saw that when he went out there and fought Charles Martin. If you've never heard of Ryad Merhy, particularly as a player in the heavyweight division, makes perfect sense because the guy wasn't even a heavyweight until 18 months ago. This is only going to be his third fight at heavyweight. He was a cruiserweight before that, and his biggest claim to fame as a cruiserweight was challenging for a title. Wasn't even a world title, right? Because I don't want to knock the cruiserweights. We can go over there and we can glance at Usyk. That's a man who was a cruiserweight champion who's come over to heavyweight and been incredibly successful. So I don't want to say that it's impossible for starting out at those smaller divisions and moving up. Definitely difficult though, right? And he's coming in a little bit undersized to this one. Murray's coming in, he's 5'11", up against Jared Anderson, he's not the biggest heavyweight in the world, right? We see guys like Tyson Fury who are bigger, Deontay Wilder, things like guys like that, but he's big, 6'4", good reach, like a 79-inch reach. But his claim to fame, right, what makes him a little bit special, what makes him a little bit different than other people is that athleticness, the speed, the feints. He moves around like a guy who's a lot smaller. He's able to slip his shots in there and work things in a way that you don't quite see from heavyweights. He's got good footwork and he moves around the ring well. And then just in his last fight with Rudenko, we started to see him utilize even more of the athleticism in the way that he was working angles on the inside. Coming in with jabs, slipping a slight angle, going with a right hand to the body. Great stuff. Great stuff. Look, I'm not going to make this one bigger than it is. I'm not going to sit here and pontificate on it forever. We know what's going to happen. Jared Anderson is coming into a minus 1,000 favorite, 10-1 favorite on this one for a reason. He's going to come out with the victory and he's going to look good when he does it. Okay? To be perfectly honest with you, I think he's faced more stiff challenges in the past. I thought Charles Martin was a better fighter at heavyweight than Ryad Merhy. Like, I don't think Murray comes into this one with any advantage. He's smaller. He's slower. I don't think he has as high of a ring IQ. He doesn't have the foot speed or the hand speed. He doesn't have the power. How's he going to come out with the victory on this one? Like when we look at Jared Anderson and we talk about what separates him right now from guys at the absolute top level, I think primarily we have to look at his defense. He's got some defensive flaws right now that would not work well if he was fighting amongst the best in the world. He's able to get away with them now, right? He's a young guy. He's coming up. He's fighting guys who are on his level. He's building up. He's working. I love his activity, by the way. You got to stay active when you're a young guy, and he's out there and he's doing that. But we think about his defensive flaws, right? Particularly the fact that he's got his chin up a little bit. Sometimes he'll pull back from situations. He'll pull back straight out or he'll pull back with his chin up. And those are things that advanced, high-level guys and trainers who are seeing these things are going to be able to take advantage of it. Murray's not going to be able to take advantage of that, right? For a couple of reasons. Number one, as I mentioned before, he's slower. And number two, he's significantly smaller. So when you're this significantly smaller guy trying to take advantage of a taller opponent who's pulling back, that's a tough one, right? That's the reason taller, bigger men pull back. They can pull straight back because they don't worry about being caught. They're out of reach. It's one of the problems when they fight guys who are the same size, because then they got those bad habits and those guys are able to follow them out. But that's not what we're going to see here in this one. I think Jared Anderson's going to come out. He's going to look very impressive. He's going to showcase a few more wrinkles to his game, a few more things that look good. We're going to wonder about what's next. We're going to wonder about where he goes from here. We're going to once again start talking about his stuff outside the ring, right? Because it's valid when we're talking about whether or not he's going to make it to the top. Are all these distractions, police run-ins with the police, whatever the case may be, are these things going to prevent him from getting to the absolute top of his sport? That question remains. We go back and we wonder, based off past interviews, does the man have the dedication to overcome all of the obstacles and see it to the top? Those are the things we're going to be talking about. We're not going to be talking about this fight. We're not going to be talking about the tough challenge that he had to go through. We're not going to be talking about how he had to dig deep and make it all happen. We're going to gloss over the fact that he came out and looked incredibly impressive because we expected him to, and then we're going to talk about what's next. We're going to talk about all those other things. And that's fair. Because when you get all the publicity and all the fame that comes with being the main event guy, that comes with all of the push to get you to the top, when you've got a company like Top Rank who is putting you on all of these billboards and all of these headlines, I think it's fair for us to talk about what's going to be next. Is he going to make it to the top? And are some things that we're currently seeing going to prevent him from seeing the absolute highest success at that level? You know, it remains to be seen. But make no mistake about it. He's going to come out in this one and he's going to win and he's going to look good when he does it. So let me know what you guys think. Am I missing something with Jared Anderson? I mean, I saw the guy fight when he fought Charles Martin. I've watched his film on most, if not all, of his other fights. He's still improving. He's a young guy who's getting better. You think he's topped out? Do you think he doesn't have any tricks left in the bag? Do you think he comes out with a victory in this one but never quite reaches the full potential that we think he has? Let me know what you guys think.